With all the changes going on at Amazon, it's easy to forget about one of the most effective ways to get your book discovered there. That's keywords and categories. But keyword research can be tedious and inaccurate if you don't do it correctly. In this video, I'm going to talk about KDP Rocket, a marketing program that makes finding keywords and categories super easy, and it will save you lots of time so you can focus on writing your book. What's up, guys? This is Michael around with Author Level Up, giving you the best tools and strategies for writing better and faster and reaching readers with your stories. One of the best tools for reaching readers on Amazon is with categories and keywords. Essentially, there are two ways to do it: the hard way and the easy way. Take it from me. You have enough things to be doing in your author business to have to do anything the hard way. I say on this channel all the time that your time is best spent writing and reaching readers. Most of you watching this probably aren't full-time writers, and your time is limited. I know mine is. Enter KDP Rocket, a program created by my friend Dave Chesson at Kindlepreneur. KDP Rocket is keyword research software that does all the heavy lifting for you. I personally use KDP Rocket for all of my books, and it has made a big difference in my book sales. I'm going to jump into KDP Rocket and show you how it works compared to the hard way, and give some other useful tips for keyword research. Alright, before we begin, just a quick disclaimer that I am not a marketing expert for keywords. In fact, I'm far from it. There's still a lot of things that I'm learning about this stuff, but this video is really intended to be a quick tour and a brief demo of KDP Rocket. I did receive a free copy of the program from Dave Chesson a while back, and I don't do many marketing videos these days, but I'm doing this one because KDP Rocket saves you time, which is time that you can spend writing or doing other marketing tasks that I talk about all the time on this channel. So first, let's talk about how to do this the hard way. So if I wanted to, we're going to use urban fantasy as an example for this video. So if I could go on Amazon and I could type in urban fantasy, and you would get some search results on the bottom here, and these are probably the most popular urban fantasy search results. These are going to be high competition, very difficult to compete for. Series, reverse harem. I mean, you really have to be knocking it out of the park in order to rank for these. But if I hit the space key and I type in A, then I get some different results. These are maybe a little bit less competitive. So urban fantasy audiobooks, urban fantasy angel, and I could do this all throughout the alphabet. And you see how there's different results coming up. Now this takes a very long time, but let's say I settle on something that I'm interested in. So let's say urban fantasy healer. So then I get some results here. So there's about 120 results. We've got a couple of different books that you could look at here, but you would have to jump into every book, look at the sales rank, reverse engineer the sales rank to get how many books it's potentially selling. You have to look at the price, you have to look at the length. I mean, there's all kinds of things you'd have to look at, and I find it very hard to get context when I'm looking up keywords this way, and I usually get pretty frustrated because it takes forever, and you just never really know if you're looking at a keyword that is actually going to work. So that's the hard way, and that's the way. I mean, if you certainly want to do that, that's fine, but it's going to involve a notebook, a spreadsheet, and all kinds of different other things that you probably don't have time for. So let's jump into KDP Rocket, and I'll show you how to do this the easy way. So I'm here in KDP Rocket now, and it offers a number of different features, and we're going to go through all of these. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this keyword search button here, and you can find or test your book idea. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to type in urban fantasy and click the Go Get 'em Rocket button. It has populated all the different combinations that have urban fantasy on Amazon. So remember I did that A, B, C, D thing? It essentially did that for me much faster and much more accurately. So I have all these different things that I could search for here. If I didn't have any idea of what keyword I wanted to use, I could do that and it would generate some results for me fairly quickly. So you can sort these results by the number of competitors, the average monthly earnings, the number of Google searches per month. That would gauge how much external traffic might be coming in for that keyword, and the number of Amazon searches per month. And I think that's very helpful. Now I went ahead and isolated, did a separate search for urban fantasy healer so you guys can see how it compares. So there are 65 results for it. The no Google searches, which doesn't surprise me, and less than 100 Amazon searches per month. So we know that this keyword is probably not getting a whole lot of action. But if we click this Analyze button, it generates the average monthly earnings and the competitive score. So books in the top 20 for this keyword on average are making $377 a month. And the competitive score is just a proprietary ranking that KDP Rocket uses, and basically 99 is the hardest and 1 is the easiest. So 35 is probably going to be pretty easy, but there's probably more going on behind the scenes here. So let's click this check competition button. And as I'm speaking here, KDP Rocket is going to return a list of basically the exact same search that I did on Amazon, but it's going to give you a lot more information. It's going to give you the author, it's going to give you the time that the book has been on the market, it's going to give you the Amazon sales rank, it's going to tell you whether the keyword is in the title or in the subtitle, meaning if all the other books don't have the keyword in the title or subtitle, makes it easier for you to rank. The number of reviews, the review weighted average, the price, the number of daily sales, monthly sales, right? So all this stuff is pretty cool. But what I like about it is that you can look at the outliers. That's where the lion's share of this money is coming from. If you look at everybody else and you maybe filter out this 657 here, most of these books aren't making a whole lot of money per month for this keyword. So that could maybe be a little misleading. Like I said, that's why I like to look at the competition, because you can really see what the outliers are. So is this keyword a bad keyword? Not necessarily, but the bulk of your traffic and your sales is probably not going to come from this one. So if I click one of these books here and I unleash the categories, that's kind of the nice part about this too, is it will tell you different categories that all the books on this page would potentially be in. So you could weed through this list and figure out if there are any that appeal to your book. And honestly, the category feature of KDP Rocket does essentially the same thing. It just allows you to type in a book title or a keyword or a different category, and what it'll do is it'll generate essentially a list of all the different categories that you could potentially put your book in. So that's an example of a keyword that's not necessarily doing very well. But if I do another search, I'm interested in this one right here. So urban fantasy series for guys. So I'm interested in this one because there's a lot of these tough guy urban fantasy books out there now. You know, historically urban fantasy has been usually females on the front cover and female protagonists, but you're seeing a lot more urban fantasy with males in it now. And I'm curious to see how those are doing, because I'm probably going to be writing one of those myself. So if I click on urban fantasy series for guys and analyze that, this is a little bit more interesting. So we've got some more competition, and we've got higher monthly earnings, about 50 Google searches a month, 389 Amazon searches a month, and a competitive score of about 65. So not the greatest keyword by any means, but let's take a look at the competition. So this data is far more interesting. So we've got a few traditionally published books in here, but if you look at the sales ranks of these books, they're not impossible to hit. Very few of them have the keyword, actually none of them have the keyword in the title or the subtitle. The reviews are, what you'd expect. But what's interesting over here is if I look at the outliers for monthly sales, there's really only one major outlier. The rest of these are, they're fairly consistent. So what this tells me is this is a keyword that while it wouldn't be one that would knock it out of the park, it probably is one that would produce some steady earnings, assuming I had the right book that readers in this list who read these books would potentially enjoy. So if I've got something that's in the sweet spot of what the market wants versus what my book is about, this would be a hell of a keyword to use, because the competition is not impossible to rank for and to compete with. All right, so let's say that I've got my keywords and I've got my book published and it's doing okay. I assume many of you who are watching this probably are wanting to or are currently dabbling in AMS ads, right? It's kind of hard. It's the big elephant in the room these days. It's really hard to not do Amazon ads. So sometimes it can be difficult to find keywords for Amazon ads, because we all know that you have to have volume. You can't really knock it out of the park with 10 keywords on an Amazon ad. You really need several hundred in order to get the reach and the clicks and the impressions that you need in order to be profitable with those ads. So let's click this AMS ads keyword button, and we're going to do a search for the same term here. And what this will do, and it's generating as I speak, but it's generating relevant book titles and authors that it thinks would be good for this keyword. So I've got a number of books, I've got a number of authors, and I can export these into a Excel spreadsheet that I can then use to upload to AMS later on. So you could spend 15, 20, 30 minutes typing in your favorite or the most relevant authors, the most relevant books in your genre, and you can generate a list of easily over 1,000 relevant AMS keywords that you can use to target your audience. That is fantastic, and I don't know of any other tools in the market that provide this service this quickly. I mean, to think about this, just to put this into perspective, if you wanted to find 1,000 keywords for your book for an AMS ad, how long would that take you today if you did not have KDP Rocket? You'd have to have a notebook, you'd have to have a spreadsheet probably, and you would be on Amazon until your eyeballs bled. This will do this for you, like I said, in 15, 20, 30 minutes. All the targeted ads or keywords that you need, you would be done. So those hours that you could spend on Amazon, you can get this done in 30 minutes and then move on with the rest of your day. That's why I like KDP Rocket, and that's why I'm such a fan of this software, because it saves you this time. And very few of us are keyword experts, right? So why not leave that to the real experts to help you with it? And I should add that I use this for all of my books. So this is an app that I use and personally recommend. I only recommend services and software that I use. And I use this with every single book that I write, and it has made a difference in my sales. And I know that it will make a difference in yours as well. And I say this as somebody who has used a lot of keyword research software. So I've used Kindle Samurai in the past. I think I've used KDP, Spy, and there's been a couple other ones. And KDP Rocket is definitely the best of the bunch. It's super easy to use. There's great support. There's tutorials. And I know that I'm not the only person on YouTube that's doing a KDP Rocket review currently. So there's lots of resources to help you understand and analyze the data that you're getting for your books. So I would definitely recommend KDP Rocket and that you go pick it up. You will not be disappointed. KDP Rocket is available for Windows and Mac computers, and you can pick up your copy via the link in the video description. If you buy through this link, I do receive a small commission at no cost to you. So if you found this video helpful, do me a favor and help a brother out, will you? I can think of few programs in the market right now that save authors as much time and energy as KDP Rocket. Plus, Dave Chesson is a really cool guy doing some really cool stuff, and you should support him. So go grab your copy. And of course, if this is your first time watching, I would love to have you subscribe. Every week I publish videos just like this one with writing and marketing advice to help you write better and grow your influence with readers. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.